3.5%. Here's a cliche, I guess. The rich keep getting richer. All right, here's a number for you, 57. That's the number of new American billionaires this year. President Obama's redistribution policies, I don't think they're working that well. The wealth gap actually is growing. Former Joe Biden Chief of Staff Robert Hoops is with us. Explain yourself, Mr. Hoops.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with the premise that the president had a redistribution program.
Wait a second. Let me interrupt. Right from the get-go, let's get this straight. The Federal Reserve says the only group of people who are prosperous, who are benefiting in the last 5 years, benefiting financially, is the top 10% of income earners. Middle America shrinking, poorer getting poorer. That's despite 5 years of President Obama saying he's going to redistribute the wealth.
I don't think I've ever heard the president say that. The facts you cite are accurate.
You've never heard him say redistribution?
No. The facts you cite are accurate, that the rich have gotten richer and the middle class and the working poor have gotten squeezed. I think it is probably the most important political issue for both parties going into 2016.
Wait a minute. You've done nothing about this in 5 years.
True.
What about all that talk of fair share?
Fair share, right. To need to get a fair deal, you need a minimum wage that's livable.
You
Republicans
think that's going to make a difference
to
this?
Yeah, what people get paid. What people get paid is going to make a difference.
Why?
Second,
you explain
people
to me,
need 5
years of this president's policies. Why is it that in 5 years it is the rich who've done well, despite everything that the president has done? Don't you understand that maybe this version of redistribution is a failure?
Again, I disagree with the premise. If Mitt Romney were president, it would be even worse. Look, the fact is very clear that Republicans have opposed minimum wage, they've opposed health care, they've opposed programs that people need to keep 2 jobs, to manage a family, to rely on public transportation. None of those things have been supported by the Republican Party.
You've raised taxes and stopped growth.
Raised taxes on the richest 2% in the country. Look, if there were a lever in the White House,
taxes, precisely. You've raised taxes. Taxes and fees have gone up all across the country.
If there were a lever in the White House...
You failed. You have failed, sir. I think you should damn well appreciate that and state the case very clearly. 5 years of President Obama's economics have failed to change the wage gap.
I just don't think that's accurate. I think if you look at what the economy was in 2008 when this president came in, and the doomsday sayers from Wall Street and others that have been on this show who said we could never turn it around, that's not true. The president's turned it around. Unemployment's below 7%.
It's the worst recovery of any recession since World War II. You failed to produce 4% growth except in a couple of quarters in the last 5.5 years. Well, that is failure.
Yeah, I wish the Republican Party in Washington could hear you, because they bear as much or more responsibility. Everything the president's tried to do...
It's the Republicans'
They have fought health care. They have fought minimum wage. They have fought equal pay for women. They have fought fundamental...
You've got Obamacare. It is in place.
That's right. 7.3 million people today have health care that would not have had health care. Those people can get jobs now. Those people can get jobs now. They can transfer jobs. They can move with a pre-existing condition. All these things that you need to have in a high-functioning economy, the president's put into place, despite the efforts of the Republican Party to block him every single step of the way.
We're going to be talking about this.
We're going to be talking about this in 2016.
It's the Republicans' fault, and it is Bush's fault.
No,
that's all you got.
And look, by the way, I don't begrudge people making money. I don't know why you're opposed to people making money.
Excuse me, one second.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
which you wanted. You got it. It is in place.
Is it working? Would you admit
you got a massive increase in government spending. You got a massive increase in welfare spending. That is redistribution.
No,
and the
there is no massive
has not worked. It has not worked.
There is no
47 million people on food stamps? That's not a massive increase in welfare?
No, it's
income
not.
Tax credit,
no, it's not.
$80 billion a year goes out the door?
No, it's not.
That is a huge increase.
You're talking about tax incentives for the very bottom third of American earners. If you want to talk about tax incentive, carried interest, low capital gains tax rates on the wealthiest, and you want to talk about tax giveaways, don't talk about people on food stamps working. Talk about the rich that are getting off.
Well, we obviously disagree, Mr. Hoops. I wish you well in taking that message to the people and explaining that it's all the Republicans' fault.
We'll see in 2016, and we'll win on these messages.
You might. All right, Robert, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Appreciate it.